Welcome, everyone. Uh, Welcome to this session on operator precedence in Python. In this video, we'll explore how Python evaluates expression with multiple operators and how precedence and associativity play a role. When evaluating expression, Python follows a specific precedence rule to determine which operator to process first. Binary operators like addition and subtraction require two operands, while unary operator like negation need only one. The parenthesis can be used to enforce a custom order. Python has various uh, categories of operation, each with its own precedence level. In this session, we'll focus on understanding how these operators interact in complex expression. We have just reviewed, right? Arithmetic operators, plus, minus, into, say, division 1, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, membership operators, identity operators, and bitwise operators. So one thing that we have to keep in mind is higher precedence operators are evaluated before lower precedence one, right? And operator precedence determines the order of evaluation in expression containing multiple operations. And eventually, the two important things are the binary operators, that requires two operands, while unary operators that require only one. Here the unary operators takes precedence. So if you are facing a combination of these two, unary one will be evaluated first, and everything can be overridden by putting a parenthesis around that. So in precedence order, if you see, right, exponentiation raised to the power, right, so that takes the topmost precedence, right? So wherever you are having x raised to the power 3 or whatever, that is the one that is actually the highest level of precedence, followed by unary complement, plus, minus, right? So first unary one, that is negation, then you do plus, then you do minus. Then at the third level of precedence, multiply, divide, modulo, and full division. Then you will start with logical operators for plus and minus. Then relational operator, less than equal to, greater than equal to. Then equality operators, equal to, not equal to. And identity operators, is or is not. Membership operators, and then logical not, logical and logical or. So they are evaluated towards the end, right? So as you can see in this table, we have list Python operators from highest to lowest. So as you might see, and as we have just talked about, exponentiation has the highest precedence, while logical or has the lowest. Operators at the same precedence level will be evaluated left to right unless they are unary, right? When parentheses are used, Python prioritizes evaluating the expression inside them. In this case, if you are having, uh, so if you see this 20 minus 30, right? There is a parenthesis that you can't see because of highlight. So 20 minus 30, parenthesis will be evaluated first, that will be minus 10. Added to 40, your answer will be 30. If you look at example 1, right, so 20 plus 30 into 40, right? So here into is will be taking higher precedence, right? If you see multiply, divide, modulo, fluid division, right? The plus and minus that you are seeing with unary, those are applied as an unary operators, right? So not plus minus, right? So they will plus and minus will change the sign, unary will change its, will negate it, right? So from there on you are having into and multiply, divide, modulo and fluid division. So 20 plus 30 into 40. How will go about? Into will take highest precedence, so 30 into 40, 1200, and then you add 20 to it, right? So just look at it. What you need to remember: exponentiation first, unary operators like negation, plus and minus, that changes the sign. Second, then you are having multiply, divide, modulo or fluid, left to right. Then comes addition and subtraction. Uh, then your relational operator, equality, identity, membership, and then other logical not and or, right? So uh, you have to keep this order in mind. Okay. So what about 20 plus 30 in bracket and then into 40? What will happen? Parenthesis will be evaluated first. You get 50, multiply by 40, you get 2000. If your parenthesis uh, can uh, take precedence over anything else, right? Okay. So with this, we have covered actually variables and constant. We have covered keywords and identifiers. We covered about operators, operator precedence, and several other basic aspects of Python that is covered as per your syllabus. Now we will try and end this session uh, by looking at some of the actual exam questions, right? That has been asked in your board exams, right? So if you see, right, what is variable in Python? Give an example of declaring a constant in Python, or what is the difference between a variable and a constant, right? So what is a variable in Python? You know x is equal to 10, right? So x stores the value of 10. And variable is a name that refers to a value stored in memory, right? Uh, Constants are not adjective supported. Convention is used actually uppercase, like pi, all pi, but there is no specific built-in support for uh, this. And yes, so in that sense, actually, there is no actual difference between variable and constant. And only differentiation will be that when we are declaring bunch of constant, you do with it uppercase. Write a Python program to swap the true value of two variables. So x is 5, y is 10. Then to swap it, we can simply change the order. That's one. So xy is equal to yx. We will see several variation of it. So once we cover some of the next topic around functions, we'll actually see that uh, and even logical operators, right? So once we actually go and talk about your XOR, right? Using that, we'll see that these values can be swapped. We'll also see with use of additional one. But here the very simple one is you change the order of it. So ix assigned to x and y. Explain, for example, how to declare an instance of variable in Python. So we just saw, right? Name is John, x is 10. On keywords and identifiers, what are keywords in Python? As you might have seen, right? So we have bunch of reserved words about say loops, about other constructs on their values of being say false or true, right? So it's actually referring to the same thing. And what is an identifier? Identifier could be name of any variable or function, right? That follows the rules that we talked about, which means that it shouldn't start with uh, non-alpha numeric, non-alpha. So it can start only with alphabetic or underscore, and then can be followed by anything except special characters, right? You can take examples out here. Can identifier start with a number? No. Right? List any 4 keywords in Python and explain their use. So if, else, while, and for, you can simply explain them for branching and looping. Write a Python program that demonstrate valid and invalid items. So valid identifier 100, 100 invalid is 200, right? So you can actually do the route examples. Name any 2 numeric data types. What will be that? Int, float, very simple. What is the type of value true in Python? That will be Boolean, right? Write a Python expression to check the type of variable x. It will be type and under bracket x. Write a Python program to demonstrate type conversion. So x is 5, y is equal to float of x. So x becomes float, right? So you can actually convert explicitly by calling a higher level operands, and simple assignment could change it by not explicit, supported by built-in function as well. Explain the difference between mutable and immutable data types with examples. So we talked about it, right? What is immutable? Once you declare and assign, you can't change it. And if you change, what happens? It will create another copy of it, right? And so anything referring to it earlier, they will keep referring to an older value, while subsequent one will be changed. And then partial changes are not allowed. So tuples, right? And the basic built-in one that we talked about are immutable. Mutable one are your list, dictionary sets, right? Those kind of things. Operator, precedent, and so what is the output of following one? 5 plus 3 into 2. What will happen? Into first, right? So 3 into 2, 6 plus 5, 11, right? If you want to actually have some of those, those of you who have followed math, right? Most of the time, as long as you remember the precedence table, right? Exponentiation, then unary, then your multiplication, division, and those kind of operator, then your simple plus minus, and then it starts to final logical, where logical OR is the least one. And whenever you are having same level of operator, you'll go left to right. So identify the operators in the expression plus equal to. What is this? Assignment operator, right? A is equal to A plus B. You can say compound assignment. Order of precedence plus, into, and greater than equal to. What will happen? Logical, it's arithmetic operators will have higher precedence, and in that multiplication will be first. So into, plus, and then you have a relational operator greater than equal to. Write the output of, so what will happen? 10 is greater than 5 will evaluate to true, 3 is less than 4 will evaluate to false. Difference between equal to and equal to, provide an example. Equal to is assignment operator, equal to is equality check, right? Evaluate the following expression step by step. 3 plus 4 into 5 is greater than 20, right? So what will happen here? Your greater than is a logical one, right? So it will be evaluated last. Your arithmetic operators plus and into will have higher precedence. So 4 into 5, 20, plus 3, 23, and 23 is greater than 20 is incorrect. So it will evaluate to false. True, sorry, yeah. What is the result of 10 is greater than 5 or 3 is less than 2? What will happen? 10 greater than 5, false. So the moment you have once false, it will evaluate to, since operator is OR, you have to look for the second one. 3 is less than 2, true. So since one of this is true, it will evaluate to true, and not of true is false. Okay. So these were a typical 1-2 marks question. We'll have another in subsequent videos. I will also be talking about your complete programs that are tested around these topics. Thanks for joining. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Do comment if you want to cover some certain kind of topic, or if you want to cover a specific Q&A session. I will do that. Thanks.